Hi guys, welcome to Learn with W3Schools. My name is Dr. Zeeshan, and in this Java Programming for Beginners course using W3Schools, we are using W3Schools website to learn about Java programming from scratch as a beginner. So if you're a beginner learning Java, want to know, this course is absolutely perfect for you. Here for the first time, haven't seen previous videos, please check out the description. I have already covered all of these major topics, and if you are already following along, you know that we have covered this. I hope you have learned a lot up till this point. Leave me a comment, show me some love, and let me know what exactly you are doing right now, what programming and what topics you are working right now, so we can work together. Okay, so without further ado, let's talk more about arrays. What exactly are arrays and what type of data they can hold and how we use arrays in Java. Let's begin. Now, let's talk a little bit about arrays. What exactly we mean by arrays and how we use them. Now, arrays are very important in programming. Almost every programming languages has that. What arrays are used to store multiple values in a single variable. So it's like a container that holds multiple values. Up till this point, we have used the variable with a single value. So all these previous examples use the single value with a single variable. So if you have integer x is equals to 10, it means that you can only save one value 10 on a one variable x. But there are countless numerous situations where you want to store more values inside a one variable or have multiple values inside one container. And that's where arrays actually come into play. So to declare an array, you define a variable type with a square brackets. Now this is the key thing, the square brackets. Whenever we want to use arrays, you need to use the square brackets. So in this case, we have used string square brackets cars. Now typically you can use the square brackets with the data type. You can use the square with the variable name as well. It's just same thing. The position of this square is actually relative, meaning you can change it. You can use it relative to data type or relative to variable name, works fine, no problem with that. So that's why many examples you would see that the square brackets are actually used with the variable name. And this is typically my way as well. I try to use the square brackets with the variable name. That way it just tells me that this variable is actually an array variable. So now we have declared a variable that holds an arrays of strings. So this basically means that this is a variable which now behaves like a container, in simple words, an array which can hold multiple values. And how do we declare those multiple values? This is how we do that. So we say string cars is equals to curly brackets start and curly brackets end, again a block. Okay, so here we again start a block of code with ended with semicolon. That's the difference here. That's typically one of the only times when we use a semicolon at the end of a block of code. Okay, so do keep this thing in mind as well. Then, as we all know, each string contains in string within inverted quotations. So we use string within inverted quotations. But because this is supposed to be a container, we need to have multiple strings. So we use a comma separated value. So comma basically separates one value from the another value, then again comma, then the third value, then fourth value, and then there can be numerous number of values here. So this typically is the syntax of a string. String, again square brackets. Do remember you can use square brackets in front of the data type as well as in front of the variable. Equals to, and then a block of code start, block ends, again curly brackets, and then inside it you provide the data that you want to do. Because this is a string, we use inverted quotations. If you are going integer, again integer data type, then you just provide the integer values. Comma separated is quite important. How do we use this value? Now that's the key thing. So if we have this means that now this integer has 4 values. This car string data type has 4 values. How do we use it? Basically, now here's the key thing. Whenever we declare a variable, okay, in this case, let's just have this and let's just give some space. What this basically means that now we have a value 1, value 2, value 3, value 4. Each value implicitly is assigned an index number. That's a key thing here. Okay, each array element has a index number starting from 0. I don't know whether W3Schools do mention that point or not. Array index starts with a 0. Here you go. See, okay. So bracket 0 is the first element, 1 is the second element, and so on and so forth. So what this basically means is that when you declare elements inside an array, first thing, again, we call them elements. Okay. In a general sense programming, we refer to these as an elements of an array because these are 4 different items. How do we identify each item? We can refer to them as an element. Okay, so I can put this in element has index number starting from 0. Okay, so this means that element 1, element 2, element 3, element 4, there are 4 elements. However, this element is on 0 index, this element is on 1 index, this is on 2 index. Index is an internal number that has, it's like a sorting mechanism. Okay, it's like your table of contents. As you put, it will creates a sequence of numbers inside it, that this is on a 0 index, this is on 1 index, this is 2 index, 3 index, and then there can be unlimited number of indexes for any array, but each first element starts from a 0. So that's why in order to access the first element, you write the variable name. Okay, and then remember the square brackets are always there, so we use the square brackets, but within the square brackets we actually provide the index number. So this basically means that we are accessing the 0 index element, the element that is on the first index. So it will prevent the Volvo. If I want to access element on the third index, I write 3 and I run the code. Now this means go on 0, go on 1, go on 2, and go on 3. Print the item on the third index. Capish? This will basically mean that I want item on the third index. What happens if I go for 4? Okay, what happens now? So because it will go on 0, 1, 2, 3, see, hey, there's no element on the fourth index, it's completely empty, there's nothing here. So in Java we call this as an exception. This means that when you compile the code, there should not be an error, but when you go and try to execute it, it will give us an exception that there's nothing here available on the fourth index, there's no element here, so nothing, right? So do always keep in mind that in item starts from 0 to 3, and then we use with that. Similarly, if I want to print any item from an index, I use the variable name, in this case cars, square brackets, and then the index number. That's how we process it. Okay, and then simply that's how we change it. So for example, if I want to change an item on the 0 index, I will write cars, square brackets, index number, square bracket close, is equal to pel. Now this basically means I'm changing the item on the 0 index. So in this example, you can see string, we say 0, 1, 2, 3, then we go car 0. This basically means that I'm changing the item on the 0 index. This will change the item on 0 index, which previously was Volvo. Now it's going to be Opel, and it's going to print Opel instead of Volvo. Okay, now because array are very complex things, and internally in memory they are handled in a very unique way, there are few built-in functions that we can use with arrays as well. Sometimes we refer, in some books it's been referred to as an array in form of an object as well. Okay, meaning that it allows us to use some functions. One common function is called length, which basically means, again, without any method signature. So that's why we again have a difference of opinion, but it behaves like a function. It doesn't have a round brackets around it. Usually every method in Java has a round brackets inside it, but in this case there's no round bracket. You just write cars.length. This is a built-in function that will tell us how many items are inside your array. In this case, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here's the key thing that you need to worry about. This 4 starts from counting the numbers. This is not the index number. Index number starts always from the 0. The total elements in this array are actually 4, right? As we can see. So these are two nomenclatures or two words that you need to be aware of. Total number of elements, or in other words, we use the word length. The length of this array is 4. However, the index number starts from 0 to 3. So the last index number is not 4, 3. Okay, so that's one thing that you need to be worried about and keep through it. Now obviously, because we use the index numbers as an integer number, we can use a loop to print all the elements inside an array. So if you want to print all the elements inside an array, simply what we do is we use a for loop. We say integer I is equals to 0, I less than cars.length. Now here's the length function that's very key. It gives us the total number of elements inside this car, and that's why we have used the less than condition here. Do keep this thing in mind. So this number will return 4, and we're going to say, hey, because this is 4, keep it less than 4. So this will go for 0, 1, 2, 3, and when it reaches to 4, the condition becomes false, the loop will execute. Because we know that the length always starts from 0, that's why I has been set to 0. If you start from 1, it will skip the first element because this will be used as an index number. So now we're going to say system.out.println cars, use the variable name, square brackets, and instead of writing a number, just write this integer I variable. So the first time it executes, I is going to print 0, and that 0 index we have Volvo, so Volvo is printed. Then it goes I plus plus, I becomes 1, It will evaluate the condition 1 is less than cars dot length, which is 4, condition true. Now the I value becomes 1. Because this becomes 1, this will print the item in on the 1 index. So the one element of BMW is printed. Then again it goes back to I plus plus. This time it becomes 2. It again going to evaluate the condition. If the condition is true, 2 is less than cars dot length. Length is 4. Condition becomes true. Again it comes here. Now this item on the second index is printed. Third index, and then when I becomes 4, condition becomes false because we are evaluating less than 4. Loop executes. So this is one easy way of evaluating and running through our loops as well. Okay, so I hope this explains it. Next, I will talk more about Java classes and methods in a general. Array. So this concludes the array session. Now, hopefully that has covered maximum amount of course of Java programming. So I hope you understand everything till this point. Any issue, any confusion, let me know in the comments. Still haven't subscribed? Again, most people, you are just watchers. So please do subscribe. It helps us a lot. And let me know what you feel about this complete series, what more topics you want to learn about Java programming. Next, tomorrow, we're going to talk more into Java OOP concepts. So this is going to be an amazing lecture tomorrow. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notification as soon as the video is up. And don't forget to watch that video. Up till then, this is Dr. Zeeshan signing off.